Scoop turn, inside, Ronaldo, track back.
What a goal!
What a goal!
What a goal!
This is the biggest FIFA Ultimate Team event ever has been. When you play games like that, anything can happen.
Oh, not expecting that one.
It's all about mental.
Oh, it's yes.
These are the most elite players. Gotta take your chances.
Starts off with a goal.
And it's all about controlling the tempo.
Finishes in style.
It's pretty much win or go home.
I'm here to win it. I'll beat anyone that's in my way.
Thank you so much. Guys, my name is Chuboy, bringing you the numbers and analysis from the FIFA Champions Cup, and the number is 12. That is how many games these guys have played to get to this point. The grand final, Xbox versus PlayStation, Germany versus Saudi Arabia, MS Dasari versus the Iceman, Icevogel. Let's take a look at their stats on the screen here to show you how they got here. Icevogel, 70 goals. They both have 70 goals for. Icevogel with 59 against, Dasari with the advantage with 30 goals against, 5.83 goal ratio, exactly the same from Dasari. So these guys look like they're evenly matched. It's gonna be a mouth-watering final. I hope you guys are ready for some of the highest level gameplay in FIFA 18. Now, I'll hand you over to Richard and Brandon.
Thank you very much, Chu. And here we go then, Richard. This is what everyone waits for. They come to a tournament. Everyone wants to be playing in this game right now. It's got all the eyes on it, all the viewers at home. And you know, you saw how DH Text turned to F2 Text off his fantastic tournament in Barcelona. Now we're here with maybe, again, two players you wouldn't necessarily say would be the favourites in the competition, but you know, that's how FIFA goes sometimes.
The biggest platform in FIFA right now is in Manchester, and it's between MS Dasari and Icevogel. Who's going to come out on top? Chuboy said it best. He said, this is some of the best quality FIFA you're going to see around. I'm just ready to get into it.
You're also seeing as well a Saudi Arabian player, rest of the world player that we said for a long time. He's been waiting to get back on this big stage now. You know, he's had a few hiccups maybe as he went through. Both these players in Swiss Star won 5 games, both lost 2. They have both tasted a defeat. You know, that is a factor that might come into it. We'll have to see. And on the other hand, Icevogel, a kingfish. If you type it in on Google, we've said it enough times, Icevogel literally means bird kingfisher, and the amount of times he scores goals and his fans, his teammates around him are making interesting bird noises there. And on the other hand of that, so much support for that Saudi Arabian.
He's probably got the lion's share of possession here, but Icevogel is the kingfisher, and will he be flying high in this final?
You know, this is key because, one, they've already both got those playoffs, but, you know, without further ado, these guys have worked hard. They've both won their console finals. Now, without further ado, let's introduce them. What a final this is going to be in Manchester. There's a live crowd right here to support these guys. Will it be the Saudi Arabian, or will it be the German that no one is stopping? Welcome that man, MS Dasari from Team Falcon. An unbelievable tournament he has had.
Yeah, massive tournament. In that knockout stage, he's scored 33 goals, only conceding 11. On the other hand, Brandon, Icevogel is being unstoppable.
He has been absolute unstoppable. 5-3 win in his console final as well. Representing Team Envy. They must be absolutely over the moon right now for that man. They made the move into FIFA esports. And you have to say, it has been worth it. It's always worth taking a risk, getting yourself into this esport. This is one of the biggest games. It's going to have all the viewers on it. It's going to have all the big talking points. And you heard the Maverick Wall say it. This is up there. It's one of the most entertaining FIFA tournaments to date we have seen. There's been upsets, goals, everything, and I've said a number of times. It's so hard to call a winner right now.
Yeah, anything that you want from a tournament, this has provided. Late drama, late goals, upsets, high-scoring games, unbelievable individual pieces of skill and ability. We've seen El Tornadoes, we've seen rainbow flicks into volleys, we've seen scrappy goals, deflections, anything you want from a tournament, this has delivered.
We've seen penalties as well, and as I said, these guys have lost games. You know, they are all human, they do lose games. You know, Nicholas even got stopped as well there. The players who did lose to Icevogel, The Stranger and Dami. On the other hand, MS Dasari lost to Dax and Janos there. However, sometimes it's essentially good to get a loss, you know, maybe in the Swiss style format. You get the loss out of the way, you think, right, I know what I need to do now. I can't be messing about anymore.
You get the taste of defeat, and then that can actually help build you. You know that you don't want to go back to that. There's nothing worse than losing a game of FIFA. It's better to lose in the Swiss style, where you can turn that around, where you can analyse what went wrong. I think that's been one of the big pros for Icevogel. He's been part of the Gfinity Elite Series every week, playing high-level opposition in that competition. he gets to analyse his games every single week, and there's a reason. He's in the final right now with Team Envious at Gfinity. They finished top of the league.
Yep.
He's a driving force.
At the same time as that, we talk about a game cycle of FIFA, you know, people getting better as we, you know, progress through the months right now. Ice Vogel, since about January, he's been incredible right now, but without further ado, here we go then. The FUT Champions Cup in Manchester right now at the Victoria Warehouse. We saw an early start. I remember losing my voice over it back in Barcelona. 1 minute, I think it was like 52 seconds, Tech scored that goal. And will we see an early start here? It's MS Dasari in the way, and nearly early on there. Ice Vogel kicking from right to left as well, and his dark FC Dallas strip, obviously Team Envious kit, isn't in the game. And we're playing on Xbox first. You can see the home team, obviously. MS Dasari. This is the cross-console final. So 1 game on Xbox, Richard, 1 game on PlayStation. How important is it to start this well? Yeah,
MS Dasari has to start this game strong. On his home console as well, I believe away goals will take part. So if Ice Vogel does win on this, they will pick up almost an extra goal, very similar to like a Champions League format. Most of the time you see the person on his preferred console lose the tie. I'm going back to Madrid last year. Principe beat Gorilla on his away console.
As I've said, this is the game that everybody wants to be involved in, Richard. It's got all the prize money, you know, it's got all the status. You know, if you win this, you can put it in your Twitter bio, you can put it on your essential FIFA CV. You can go, you know, if you do move on from your organisation, or, you know, if you want to appeal to more clubs in the future as well, you can obviously show that it's on your record, and people remember these kind of finals. Chance, MS Dasari early on! It's early though, it's early, but an early start is always important right now.
Heel-to-heel flick into the low driven from R9. There's a reason he's in every single team, that 96. Ronaldo up top, because he does the business on the big stage. MS Dasari breaking the deadlock 10 minutes into this final.
And it's first blood to the Saudi Arabian here. I'm sure he's got maybe not many people here in Manchester supporting him, but online, I'll tell you now, this man is loved. Boy said it on Twitter, they love this man. And why wouldn't they? Obviously the Royal as well, another really strong Xbox player there. Obviously he can't be competing at this level right now. However, I'm sure he'll be supporting his teammate from Team Falcon right now.
Very poignant as well that both of these players have scored 70 goals up to this point. You couldn't write it. You could not write a better final. And in the first 15 minutes here, MS Dasari looks to be on top. But let's not forget, he is on his preferred console, the Xbox One.
And here he comes again now. MS Dasari, cheeky little back heel there. Messi in a very unfamiliar position there, just to recycle the ball. And as you said, we've seen it a number of times. I'm thinking back to last year, you know, the competitive scene where Principe and Gorilla went at it, and Principe, I believe, even got a better result on his away console, you know, potentially there. Is that a factor? Don't get me wrong, you have to start playing well on your own console, but essentially it's the same thing. You haven't got the icon excuse anymore, or the legend, obviously it was called last year. All you've got is a controller. All you have got is a controller excuse right now.
I guarantee both of these players will have played a little bit on their away console as well. Ice Vogel probably sparring with his Team Envious teammates at Gfinity. MS Dasari sparring with the teammates from Falcon.
Back to goal. MS Dasari
shouldn't have passed that.
Just finesse it. We've seen it so many times with that Omri. He can cut inside. He can finish it now, but oh, here we go. Could be worse for him. David De Gea. Wow, what a save.
What a save from David De Gea. Front post flick.
Anyone there? Oh, that was defended there, but you always look to your keeper, Richard. You've said it so many times. In big finals, you need big performances from certain players. You look at them and say, go and give me a big performance. David De Gea, yes, he gets a lot of criticism, but when he needs to, he steps up and pulls out the big ones.
You need your goalkeepers clutch up in the final, and no better man than that team in the year, David De Gea, to be the one in between the sticks when called upon.
This is the first leg. MS Dasari in the white. He is 1-0 up at this moment in time. Can the Kingfisher, Ice Vogel from Germany, bounce back? He will defend that one very well. He just seems a little bit slow to attack right now. Is it just the high press that maybe Dasari is offering right now?
Well, we spoke to a lot of people about how MS Dasari has been so dominant in this tournament. He said it almost feels like you've got 5 players attacking you at one point. Just look how he surrounds him, almost Pep Guardiola-esque in the way that he presses the ball in numbers. If you lose it, win it back within 3 seconds.
And if you can't, obviously, regroup, rebuild that team. And he's a man that has been waiting to get back on the big stage. I've said it a number of times because it is true. He won Vancouver last year. The rest of the world region went a little bit quiet, you could say there. ESWC was a warm-up for him. Finished third place there, and now he's got his playoff ticket and he's in a big final. And I would say currently it's all going to plan, but I'll be very, very surprised if it's a 1-0 game.
Yeah, MS Tasari's always been there. It's just being from Saudi Arabia, sometimes not eligible to compete in all the competitions. So when he does get an opportunity like this to compete at the highest level, he's going to take it with both hands. He's going to seize the opportunity.
You know, I was looking at that, 128 players before we came into this event here in Manchester, looking at who could be a favourite, who could, come out of the woodwork. Obviously, depending on how you feel, the preparation to the event, how you warm up, certain players, crashed out of the tournament at Unilad Shells. People may have thought he would go all the way. He crashed out. Marla from Stuttgart. Vitality Brian, a number of names there. Oh, wow! Massive save to Hale on the rebound again. A massive save. Just pick up that ball and relax. Please, just relax.
Scramble in the box for MS Dasari. How has that not gone in? Switch of play from that man Dasari now, trying to just regain his composure, keep it down, because you saw at the end of the console final how animated he was. He's got to bring those levels down back now and recompose.
I know we said we don't see much reaction from Nicholas in this tournament, but Ice Vogel's up there as well. He could be 2-0 down. No, wow! You can see he faked to go one way, went on that right foot, and unfortunately, it's got a little bit worse for Ice Vogel right now.
The classic low-driven shot from that man CR7 into the back of the net. De Gea helpless in the goal. 99, Team of the Year, Cristiano Ronaldo. What a player he is. If you're wondering, how do the players get them? At these events, it is unlocked accounts, so pretty much every single player is available. It's like a child in a candy shop. You choose whoever you want. Everybody is there.
And both of these players, they won their console finals. Yes, you could say you're an Xbox and a PlayStation champion here in Manchester, but that's not always enough, Richard. You don't get a trophy for that. Yes, you get a status for it. They both want to be lifting that trophy. I'm sure every single player that came here would have set their sights on that right now.
Nobody remembers second place. They only remember the winner.
A goal before half-time could be big. Touch inside, nearly an acrobatic effort from Ice Vogel. And just relax, MS Dasari. Send yourself to half-time at a 2-0 lead.
You can see how even this game is.
Is it a difference that there has been, a change? Obviously, MS Dasari's just come off the back of that final. On the difference there, Ice Vogel
has had a little bit of a rest.
He's had a little bit of a rest, maybe a time. I know this isn't, like an actual game of football. We always say about warming up occasionally, as crazy as it sounds. You have to go and warm up. You have to prepare before just jumping into a massive game like this.
He's also playing on his away console. Let's not forget that as well. On MS Dasari, if you're wondering how he's got so much width, he's playing the 4-4-2 second variation, I think that is, I just saw there. So he has got the wide men. They offer him the switch ball, but he's also got the 2 CDMs just to hold, almost like a 4-2-3-1-esque, just to protect that back four, anchor from left to right.
But the one thing that MS Dasari does, just suffer with a little bit, obviously we can see the replays from this first half. He went 2-0 up, 2 fantastically executed goals, but he seems to struggle in a formation that he likes, MS Dasari. Throughout today, the 12 rounds of fixtures we've seen, he always seems to be changing formation. Obviously, when he's winning, when he's losing, yes, it's very good. However, for me, it's just maybe doesn't show all the confidence he does have.
Well, not even that. Going back to last week as well at ESWC, he played pretty much with the 4-3-3. Now he's gone to the 4-4-2. Chuboy, what are you making of this first half?
First half, guys here, and of course Richie and Brandon will talk about the different types of formations we might be seeing in this final. Now, Dasari is actually playing a 4-1-2-1-2. This is probably the most common attacking formation in FIFA 18. He does try out other formations, but you'll see most of the players at this tournament using this 4-1-2-1-2. Balanced because you have 1 CDM, you have 2 wider midfielders, not necessarily wingers, a cam, and 2 strikers, so that gives you the best attacking options. It also has fullbacks, so you'll see this a lot. Oh no, not Jimmy again. Jimmy,
Hi.
what's up?
Yeah, it's me. I'm a big fan of the 4-4-2. It's traditional, it covers all the ground, gets you good width, and I really feel like in this FIFA 18, it's the right formation to use. Because this game, more so than any other, really speaks to the nuance and subtlety of how the game moves in real life, and so I appreciate it. So if I'm ever a manager, just throwing that out there, 4-4-2 is always the formation I'm going to go with. Just thought I'd throw that in.
Well, I have to listen to the man who has played against a great like Andrea Pirlo. He is right, 4-4-2. That is what MS Desari is using right now in this grand final. The reason why, I mean, you'll see he's got wide players on the wing. So if you want to overlap, if you want to like consume, just give your opponent no options. You can use this formation and overload them. So we'll be back right after this break for more football.
Welcome back to Manchester for the FUT Champions Cup 2. The Spring Cup, some will call it. And currently we're in this cross-console final, Richard. We're at the halfway point in this first leg. 2-0 to MS Desari, the Saudi Arabian. We've started on the Xbox side of things as well. There's still a PlayStation leg to come, and away goals are now activated, you could say. Talk to me about this man, though. He is on top of the world.
Oh, on top of the world, that's only one way to put it. 70 goals he scored in this tournament. Make that 72 right now, because he's 2-0 up in this final. Only let in 38. Let's get straight back into this game, where we picked it up. 2-0 the score at halftime. This is on his preferred console, on the Xbox One, so he has to make the most of that while we are playing. If you are just joining, this is the first time. The second leg will be on Ice Vogel's preferred console of the PlayStation 4.
And here's MS Desari in that white strip from right to left in this half. And Ice Vogel in an interesting FC Dallas kit, obviously represents Team Envy. However, I know you said how important this first leg is, obviously on his home console. In any final, any two-legged game, your first leg is huge. Go and get yourself a few goals behind you, and just to give you that little bit more confidence.
We say that, but how many times this weekend have we seen games overturned in the second leg? Almost the player analysing the information of their opponent in that first leg, and then the second leg just turning them over 4-5-0.
It's one of those, though, isn't it? Especially at this level in FIFA. Ice Vogel, we can go back maybe to his comfort, you could say. The only difference really is that controller, and it does come down to a little bit as well who's been practicing on their away console. Because, you know, on paper, not everyone would expect to get to this stage, would they? You know, they think maybe the playoffs is always the key focus, the quarter-final stage is the last 8. And then when you find yourself in a situation like this, it's whoever has done that preparation before. And right now, Ice Vogel needs to get back on his homework book and find out how to break down this Saudi Arabian.
Yeah, in that 4-4-2 second variation, probably one of the first times Ice Vogel's ever come up against this formation as well. Pretty sure MS Desari, the only person in this tournament to use it. He's got an abundance of different formations though. The 4-3-3 second variation. He can switch into a 4-1-2-1-2, as Chu said earlier on. He can play even a 4-2-3-1 if he has to see out a game. This man is creative in the formation department.
Ice Vogel now, what a year it would be. Here's a chance. Oh, that was literally a gift for him.
Dragged wide.
He's got himself a corner now, though, Richard. He's played it short. Just do not lose it here. We know how you can get counter-attacked on corners so easily this year.
He's not
recycle it. Just recycle.
He's done well to get Kante back involved.
Messi, he's waiting to get him on that left foot, of course, trying to open on a finesse. No, he won't. He'll just go back to Ramos, of all people, who's in an interesting midfield position, it feels like. One block, 2, save! And you can hear the crowd here. They thought maybe there could have been someone just lurking at that back post, maybe anticipating the rebound, as you always see, especially on FUT Champions as well.
Yeah, how many times do we see a low-driven shot, usually David De Gea spilling it, and that attacker who's got that 99, 98 attacking positioning in the right place at the right time just to tap home into an empty goal. On this occasion for Ice Vogel, unfortunately, it wasn't to be.
We started this half a little bit better, the German, obviously from Stark Esports as well, represented there. Unbelievable year so far. He already got his playoff ticket from the ESL German Championships. Another method to get yourself in those playoffs. Obviously, so many tournaments all around the world. Hullet there, Ronaldo, got back inside. Game on here right now. And the first real bit of emotion I've seen from that man.
Yeah, we said during the tournament, Ice Vogel, zero emotion. If you look into his eyes, almost like a shark, just holding in. He smells blood in the water right now. Are we going to see something special from Ice Vogel on his away console?
Well, it's only one goal now adrift from making that happen. However, if we do see 2-2, MS Desari, he'll be in his tactics. He'll be changing his formation once again, as we've seen him do a few times here in Manchester over these all over the three-day event. Obviously, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we kicked off up to round 5 of Swiss-style format on Friday. Obviously, the last 2 rounds we did play yesterday, some players went home. Obviously, half stayed in the competition. Round of 32, round of 16 came back today for the quarterfinals, and these are the 2 that we find ourselves left with. The winner from Xbox, the winner from PlayStation. Oh, we all square! Yes, we are! Rude Hullet of all people.
Cannot give that prime Rude Hullet that sort of space on the edge of the box, because he will punish you. Into the top left corner, out of De Gea's reach. No low-driven shot needed on this occasion.
And not always the man you'd put your money on to be scoring in those areas. When you look for a drag back into a finish like that, you're normally looking towards your R9s, your CR7s, the big players. But Rude Hullet, if he's not in your team, you really are asking questions.
5 minutes, 2 goals for IceVogel. That is how quickly a game can turn.
He's obviously gone into half-time there. Remember, he's on his away console currently. This is an Xbox leg. Offside there, and you can just see the change in this game now. Little mistakes starting to creep in for Emis Dasari.
At this point, you've got to say advantage IceVogel.
Full of confidence. He was 2-0 down. If we can stay at 2-2, Richard, going into that second leg on, technically Emis Dasari's away console, home console for IceVogel, whether it really has that much difference other than a controller feel. However, you will be surprised the amount of times, players that are used to playing on a certain console go away and they just slip a button. It's just the difference. Obviously, an Xbox controller a little bit bigger to hold, and you can just slip on a button, slip on an analog stick. As crazy as it sounds, those are really the finer details.
Also as well, you're playing in a cross-console final with thousands of dollars up for grabs. I imagine the hands very sweaty as well if you're playing on a foreign controller. That could be something as well that you've got to take into consideration. It's the smallest minute details, the smallest margins, which will cost you at this level.
As we know, these guys are playing on unlocked EA foot accounts. Up to a certain date, they could build their team, so hence why you can see all the big name players in here right now. That would probably cost you millions of FIFA coins in-game there. Is he fouled? No, he's not. Carl Walker runs away with the ball there for Emis Dasari. You have to look back and think he did throw away a 2-0 lead there. He did start well. And as crazy as it sounds, it seems to just be such a task for a number of players to hold on to a 2-0 or a 3-0 lead. It's just how you approach it, isn't it? There's only a few players that can just continue to attack and do exceptionally well.
Yeah, you've either got 2 options. You can either keep on attacking and try and extend the scoreline, or you can try and almost turtle up and do a defensive job. If you do that, you are going to get caught out of the back because chances will fall for your opponent. At a time, Emis Dasari looking to retake the lead.
What a spectacle this is going to be then. 2-2 here on the Xbox side. Another leg to come on IceVogel's home console. It is back against the wall. Could he get himself in front before we go into this second game? Hullet, he goes one way. Could he go and get another ball roll into a fake shot back and just cleared by Rio Ferdinand? And what a first game we have here at the Victoria Warehouse in Manchester.
Advantage IceVogel, 2-2 on his away console. Big performance after being 2-0 down at half-time as well. Got to be brimming with confidence going into his preferred console.
If we are being critical, a really poor first half from him. But that's what you need sometimes. You need to maybe start a little bit slow in a 2-legged game. Feel out your opponent, see what's not going well, and obviously a fantastic start to the game. It was from Emis Dasari. The next thing you know, it was all square at 2-2. These were the goals he did get back.
We also said as well, IceVogel played his console final first, so he's had a little bit longer to the break in between. So will that be a factor coming into the second leg? Both players warmed up now, Brandon.
Or maybe it could be a huge factor here, obviously, Richard. A PlayStation side still to come here. IceVogel will be back at home. However, 2-2 the score in Manchester.
Welcome back, guys, to Manchester. What a first leg of the console final that was, the cross-console final, I should say. 2 goals apiece, a stalemate going into that second leg, perfectly poised. And I have to say, one thing that makes this final and this event extra special is it's taking place in Manchester, a city with such a rich footballing history.
The English way. Isn't that lovely? But deep down British culture, the great divide, football. The football history is what defines and divides the city's culture. The beautiful game has a meaning that goes past the full 90 here. We're talking about pride, silverware, and bragging rights. One's joy is another one's pain. Manchester is no stranger to this. 5 miles separate Old Trafford from the Etihad Stadium. But this week, when the rivalry climaxed, it felt like 1,000 miles gap. Manchester against Manchester.
Champions Cup 2 here in Manchester. A huge second leg is upon us now, Richard Buckley. We've done Xbox, now over to PlayStation, back to home, you could say, for one of these players, and then it's a trip away on a console they might not be too familiar with, but we're all a piece. We're 2-2. If you love football, you love FIFA, you're in the right place for one of the biggest games of FIFA to date.
Yeah, I have to say, advantage Eisvogel at this point. He was 2-0 down at half-time, turned it around in the second half, and all the momentum, all the confidence will be that man from Germany.
And it was an interesting game. Of course, if you have watched that first leg, it's a case where Mr. Sari started so well, full of confidence. They're all playing for that massive trophy you can see right there, and $22,000 for one of these two. However, Richard, nothing changes though.
This is what I want to see from MS Desire right now. He's gone back to the 4-4-2 second variation. I imagine it's going to be Hullet coming in at left centre mid, left CDM, alongside Vieira. Henry on the right for the low driven across the goalkeeper. And then two Ronnies, you could say, up top. R9, 96 Prime Ronaldo, and the Team of the Year 99 Ronaldo. One thing that Spence were talking about then, where we were talking about MS Desari's results, he beat Eisvogel's teammate from Envy 10 goals to 2, Enviero. There's got to be some sort of redemption for Eisvogel to go out and beat his teammate after Desari embarrassed Aero 10-2 earlier on in the tournament.
And what an atmosphere we have right now for a huge game for these two. Obviously, as I've said numerous of times, they've won their Xbox side, they've won their PlayStation side, obviously in their original group. So the best player out of the 64 each side. 128 came here in Manchester on Friday, here at the Victoria Warehouse. They've been through all the strain of the group stages, you could say the Swiss style. And how difficult is it to play FIFA at that level? You're basically playing a top 100 player every single game, and as you win one, it gets harder and harder and harder.
You have to maintain your composure throughout the tournament. You have to keep switched on every single round if you do want to get to this stage. You saw Nicholas, he was 11-0. He then dropped out of the competition because it just didn't click for him in a game. He lost his composure, you could say. He were changing the way that he played. He were a lot more frantic in the final third. Eisvogel, all tournament long, has kept the same way that he played, game in, game out. During the knockout stages, 8-7, 5-2, 4-3, 4-3, 5-3, the scorelines that he's won by. He knows what to do to succeed. It might be not the most glamorous of results, but he's getting the job done.
A silly free kick to give away from Eisvogel as well, who is playing that Bayern Munich strip, obviously defending this free kick now. MS Desai will step over it, someone off the training ground. Messi dummies it, plays short, that's clever! And David Ayer just pounces on that one, does everything he can to get in the way of it. Obviously 2-2 is the score right now. Away goals do not count, as we've seen throughout this whole tournament now. If it's a draw, we go to extra time overall. Imagine penalties, Richard. Extra time and penalties in a final worth so much here in Manchester.
That would be high drama. Drama to the highest degree, you could say.
And what a journey these two have had in the competition. Obviously, Jimmy, Spencer, all of them have highlighted it. What an easy goal to score. He'll be taking them all day long. We've seen so many of them. Low-driven shot across the goal. Keeper will always parry, and if you've got a man that is anticipating at the right time, he will score that one 99 times out of 100. Messi there scores the first goal, but Eisvogel, he was down 2-0 in that first game. He bounced back. Do not write off him. Do not write off MS Dasari yet. Yes, it's only a 1-goal lead, 3-2 the score right now. On his away console, MS Dasari.
Icevogel's been in this position before. He was 2-0 down at half-time in the first leg. Right now, losing 1-0 inside 15 minutes, and MS Dasari does look the more aggressive of the two players. Maybe the little break in between has done him a world of good to recompose himself, to get back the mental side of his game. That sometimes does go a little bit lacking if it doesn't go his way.
And to speak to a coach, to speak to a friend, obviously, maybe there'll be a few more Germans here. There was 21 Germans on the PlayStation 4 side that qualified for Manchester, and here comes Icevogel now, cuts inside. Oh my,
what a block on the line from Rio Ferdinand.
What an unbelievable bit of defending from Rio Ferdinand. You could say in his home turf here in Manchester, the icon foot item, standing up strong and being counted when he needed to. You're thinking there, that was a similar goal, literally, it could have been. And this is how harsh FIFA can be at times. MS Dasari there wins himself a corner.
You talked about the rebound shot. You shoot from an angle where maybe you know the keeper's going to save it. You know you might not score, but you're going to get the rebound coming your way.
Back post. Oh, Sergio Ramos just done enough there to clear that one for a throw-in.
That cross so effective this year. The lofted cross into the back post. You get someone like a Ruud Gullit, like a CR7 to leap up at the back post like a salmon.
You know the stats that these guys do contain as well. That 99 team of the year, Ronaldo, nearly. He got a chance to by the cherry.
What a save.
Really showing his worth, the 97 team of the year keeper. There's always question marks over him sometimes, but when he is called upon, he always delivers.
We were wondering what type of final we were going to get. End-to-end entertainment right here, Brandon, in Manchester.
You just get the sense as well that these guys are feeling a little bit nervous. It's coming out in their play style, making it a little bit more exciting. Even, the simple 5-yard, 10-yard passes.
They're going awry.
They are, yeah, they're asking questions of these two. Icevogel needs a goal right now. They call him the Kingfisher from Team Envious. Done exceptionally well this year. Both these players really starting to hit the peak in this FIFA 18 cycle.
Yeah, you talk about the cycle. Some players perform better at the beginning of the year.
Oh, MS Dasari! And a bit of breathing space for that man. Such an easy, such a simple through ball it looks. However, it really isn't. He picked the pass at the right time and an easy finesse to score.
Reclaims his 2-goal advantage that he did have in the first leg. MS Dasari slotted past the goalkeeper. De Gea inches away from saving it with his left foot. We're talking about the cycle of FIFA. Some players will play better at the beginning of the year. Some players, it takes them a little bit longer to get used to the new game, to get used to some of the nuances to the new game, and they'll start performing better February, May, whenever it may be, up to the grand final, usually in July, August time. And that's when really that you have to perform your best.
Hence why these two weren't at this stage back in Barcelona in January. Also, they weren't competing to that level in November. It took them a little bit more time to get used to the game, how they wanted to play it. Of course, a new game comes out every single September. However, people adapt differently at different times, and there's just a handful of players that are really hitting maybe their top level at the moment.
You got to remember as well, we are playing on Icevogel's preferred console. In both legs, MS Dasari has gone 2-0 up. In the first leg, Icevogel brought it back and we finished 2-all.
Imagine 4-4 extra time. But as you said, it's Icevogel's home console on paper, you have to say, but the teams will be exactly the same. It's just the difference in controller. And this is what MS Dasari is needed to do. He's needed to start, pulling together a plan B, a plan C, how I can see out a game. How's my game management in a tournament? Because a number of times through these 3 days, he has been struggling.
And we saw it in that console final. Every time that he went up, Nicolas Razek was pulling him back. He had to go to extra time until Dasari was able to pull away from Razek in that Xbox final. 7-6, he did beat him. Right now, he's got the 2-goal cushion, but this game will not end like this. I can guarantee that.
You can just see both players on their face cams as well, fully concentrated right now. Well played, Icevogel just defended that one extremely well. Messi seems to be quite deep as well here. Obviously, they were both, well, everyone that came to this event, 128 players, were competing for those 16 playoff tickets that will be happening on later on the year. 128 spots are there, 64 each console.
Great defending from Ruud Gullit. fellow commentator Chris Trout said Rudhuller is his most desirable player in the team. He's the most impactful player, whether it's assists, goals, getting back and doing the dirty work. You saw there, great clearance from him. He is the most important player in the team.
And the amount of times you said as well, he can go forward, he can create attacks, he can score goals. We saw him score a fantastic one for Icevogel last game, a simple drag back into a right foot shot. He can head the ball at the back post, he's 6'3". He can jump up, he can defend.
He's got everything.
Could it be worse for him now? Just get rid of it. And half-time here, 4-2 on aggregate. Currently on MS Dasari's away console.
And you saw there the audience here cheering on one of the two players right here, MS Dasari. Probably, I'd say, got a little bit more fan appreciation here in Manchester at the Victoria Warehouse, but they'll have their Turtle Beach headsets on right now. They'll just be not thinking about anything else.
I'm sure they won't be in. You look at the support they've got. So 21 Germans came and competed on the PlayStation. You know, it's not surprised that over, nearly a third of those players, one of them is in this final. It could have been a German final there, but MS Dasari proved why he should be there. Beat Nicholas Rajak, and at the moment, it's all going well for the Saudi Arabian.
Everything going to plan for him on his less preferred console as well, the PS4 against Icevogel. Second half of action going to come up very shortly, Brandon.
Yeah, it is going to come up very shortly, and as we know, $22,000 for the winner to be the champion of Manchester. Here's some of those key replays from that game, and from the first half, sorry, MS Dasari, it was just all of him. The chances he had one or two really clear-cut chances, and Icevogel, again, it took him a first half in that first game when he was away on Xbox. He is home right now. I know there's not that much difference in the teams. It is just the controller right now. For me, I'm just putting it down to nerves.
Seems as though he comes out a little bit flat-footed, does Icevogel, and he has to come into the second half a little bit stronger. The second half on the first leg, he dominated. Can we see another dominant performance to maybe take it to extra time?
Of course, we got to call on that one, but another two guys that would have looked at that game very closely, Chuboy and Spencer.
Thank you, guys. I'm here with Spencer. Spencer, how was that enjoyable second leg? I guess the first half of the second leg.
Yeah, very enjoyable. You have to say right now it's following the same trajectory of that first leg. 2 goals to Dasari. Icevogel could still come back, he has to believe.
Exactly. Now with Icevogel, I mean, he did come back from 2 goals down, so we'll see if he can do that again, because he has what it takes to do this. I mean, let's take a look at his stats to show what he can do to come back in this final. 70 goals for, 59 goals against, 5.83 goal ratio. Is that a good enough goal ratio, Spencer, for him to come back?
I think the goal ratio is good enough, but it's his goals against that concerns me. He's already let up 4 over these 2 legs, or 1.5 legs. I feel like he might concede again. I think if he does, it's too late. But this is his home console. He got 2 goals late in the last game on an away console. Surely he can do it on his favourite one.
And that's what we've seen so far in FIFA 18, that sometimes, even in FIFA 17, that you might not win on your favorite console. So it's anybody's game in this one. I know all the fans in Saudi Arabia and Germany are enjoying this so far. Now we're going to take a look at some amazing goals for you guys that have been scored so far in the tournament. The top 5 goals. And for number 5, who do we have here? I believe it could be Aries Llanos from South America. How do you think he's done in this tournament?
He started off really, really well. You know, he was one of the undefeated players, but ultimately lost when it mattered in the knockout round. This is the goal machine, and he really is. It's not just the goal machine. They make good goals, that machine.
They make great goals in Canada. Number 3, I believe that is Gorilla Unilad, one of the favorites in this tournament, who did go out earlier. Nice little cheeky chip in the back of the net. Spencer, who is at number 2?
Let's take a look. The second best goal so far is going to go to, it's actually not a goal. Actually, this is a save. Watch this. This is #Ryan trying to score. Sergio Ramos with the last-ditch block, kicking it against his own post there.
That is the kind of excitement you can expect in a FIFA match. Last but not least, I believe this is F2 Tex from the F2 Freestyles. What is Ronaldo going to do? Gives it to the other Ronaldo. Sombrero flick to a volley in the bottom right corner. That's why the best of the best players are here at FUT Champions Cup 2 to score goals like this. Now we'll be back after these messages.
So to speak, and we're going to jump into that second half any second now. He was 2-0 down on Xbox, bounced back to finish that 1-2-2. Can he go and do it again? Can he make some history for himself?
Has to do something different, because in that first leg, in both both ties, there's been nothing really there for him. He's 2-0 down. If we're only playing first legs, he's 4-0 down right now. If we were playing second halves, it could be 4-0 up if he replicates the performance we saw in the first tie. Let's just get right into this. Are we going to see a classic Icevogel second performance? That is the question on everyone's mind here at the Manchester Victoria Warehouse.
Oh, the question is, has he made a change? If you have just joined, Icevogel from left to right here. Wow, what an awful place to give away possession this early on now. Chance now for Mr. Sari early on. Keeper buries that one. And no one is there at the back post, but that's a lifeline for Icevogel right now.
If it had been a split second earlier, he could have actually gone in for the dink there. Could have tried living the chip life.
Straight away, Icevogel, that was it. Just a little bit more power in that pass. He could have even opened up on a finesse. Wow, referee, that was a bit naughty. Straight into the boot, you've got to think there, and it will be a free kick for Mr. Sari. On his away console, remember, away goals do not count, so if...
Straight aggregate.
So if Icevogel does go and score 2 goals and we stay, you know, no more goals being scored after that, it'll be a 4-4 extra time thriller, Richard Buckley.
Will extra time be needed to separate these two? That will be the question. Or will MS Desari extend his lead and take home the Manchester Spring
Look at the
Cup?
space, look at the time. MS Desari, off the post. Inches, centimetres from nearly putting one hand on that trophy.
Nearly putting a nail in Icevogel's coffin, but he's still alive and kicking his Icevogel, but has to do something different if he wants to get back into this game, because right now it's all that man from Saudi Arabia, MS Desari.
We heard from Mo Aubameyang there at the halfway point in this one. Obviously, a man that's already got his playoff ticket and one of the best, you have to say, or maybe the best PlayStation player in Germany. Obviously, Dieter amongst that as well. The stranger, Marv, the list goes on. A chance for him. That one's blocked. Icevogel panic stations at this moment in time because time is running out.
It's a battle of the sky, Brandon. We said Icevogel's known as the Kingfisher. MS Desari playing for Falcon.
Oh, there's a goal! Go and get the ball! And maybe we can see it come back again. He did it in the first game. Now, can he do it the second game? Straight into the formation. Is this Icevogel? Is this him making a change right now?
Looks like it will be MS Desari. Is he going to stick to his guns with the 4-4-2 second variation, or are we going to see something come out? I think he was waiting to see if his opponent made a change. Pele coming on at right mid, giving him that little bit of extra width. We've seen Pele be huge for him in this tournament, coming in off the right-hand side. Only 30 minutes left, with 2/3 of this game finished already.
However, it's a long time in FIFA, Richard. 30 in-game minutes is a very long time indeed. He's just gone for a finesse there. It's worked extremely for him. Poor defending from MS Desari there, but if you give Ronaldo a sniff, he will punish you. And what an interesting last 30 minutes we got here at the FUT Champions Cup, the Spring Cup you can call it, here at the Victoria Warehouse in Manchester, in front of a packed crowd.
These two players not only playing for themselves as well, both representing organisations. MS Desari with Falcon, Icevogel part of Team Envious, one of the biggest esports organisations around at the minute, coming into FIFA.
Wow, Pele there. How's he won that battle? I am sorry. That's an absolute gift for MS Desari there. You've got to be asking questions of Marcelo, I believe, was just pushed off the ball. A shake of the head from Icevogel. And straight into the formation change once again. For MS Desari, it's a winning formation he puts this one on.
Yeah, this is what he played last week at ESWC. He finished 3rd in that tournament last week. Could say good practice for him coming in to this major Spring Cup. He's gone to the 4-3-3 second variation. Vieira's going to be the holding centre defensive midfielder. And then it's going to be Hullet and I imagine Kante at left centre mid and right centre mid, respectively. Ronaldinho coming on at right wing as well.
Don't get me wrong, I do see, the strategy of this, a high energy midfield, but he's only got one CDM in there. A number of pros will always, go for the 2 just because it's that extra bit of option. If Vieira goes, there's a gap in that back.
But also with the 3 up top at all times, it gives him the width, and also playing the 4-2-2. As Icevogel comes out of his shell a little bit, maybe goes attacking, ultra-attacking, there will be space out wide for MS Desari to exploit. With the pace of a Pele at right wing, it will create chances for him.
Could be the difference, but 2 goals now, Richard, for Icevogel. Yes, he's on his home console. It's going to be a job if he can do it. He needs a goal, ideally. before the 75th minute. There's the killer ball. No! The difference of pressing Y or triangle, sorry, on the PlayStation controller, or just pressing X. It's just that little finer detail that he hasn't done correctly there.
You also have to say, great knowledge from MS Desai to bring the goalkeeper out there, to smother the ball, make sure he gets there that millisecond earlier.
Just to build those extra few seconds, as you said, to try and close down the angle, add pressure, and MS Desai's in party time. Nearly, no he's not. Sergio Ramos just about somehow added a deflection on that one. He's through, is he onside? Oh no, Ronaldo, he's had to stop it. CR7, no, just rushed. It's rushed and it is panic stations for Icevogel right now. He's done exceptionally well in this tournament, but okay, maybe Mr. Sari's panicking right now. Fake shot Ronaldo, free kick, no, what are we playing here, referee?
Referee lets it go. You've got to think, MS Desai, the nerves will be kicking in right now. He's given the ball away.
Again,
twice.
3 occasions nearly, I believe.
In the last
Ronaldo,
3 minutes.
Have a shot, no, he's rushed it. Icevogel is just rushing his opportunities now. Try and play one more. Yes, still, I know he's going to be feeling the pressure right now. But those are the chances, Richard. It was 2 or 3 occasions. He got back possession.
And he had to make the most of those chances that did fall for him, because this is the second leg. He's only got 15 minutes left, and MS Desai right now controlling the ball. You would say the egg timer, the sand is ticking away for Icevogel. He's not going to get that many chances left. Has to win the ball back in the next 10 minutes, 5 minutes, if he wants to get anything out of this game.
And can MS Desai get back to top flight FIFA? Winning titles again. He did it last year on FIFA 17, and he's been waiting. He said every tournament I get a little bit better. Here's WC a week ago. Yes, he got 3rd place there. May not have won the tournament, but he got better. He said every event I see myself improving, and he's just on fire right now. Ronaldo! And maybe that's the second hand on the trophy here in Manchester. The Saudi Arabian cannot be stopped.
MS Desai is back on top of the FIFA world. 6-3, he currently leads. What a performance in this tournament for him. With only 10 minutes left, you have to think it's too little too late for Icevogel to mount a comeback.
And the list of players he's beaten in his way. Now he's beating Goal Machine. He's had to come up against Rajek before. #Harry, Kurt. He's had to push people out of his way. MS Desai right now. And with this time left, surely no way back for Icevogel. He's got a goal. Get the ball, and let's just see what's going to happen now. I'm not going to jump to any conclusions for a comeback right now.
See MS Desai pointing into the crowd.
Is he celebrating? Is he celebrating right now?
I think this game's already finished. We've seen crazier things happen in FIFA, Brandon. Let's just wait and see. This kickoff will determine the game, in my opinion. If MS Desai keeps the ball for maybe 5-6 minutes in game, takes it down to that 90th minute, it's going to be game over. If Icevogel can win it back in the next 2 to 3 minutes, and he's going to change formation as well.
Can you imagine it? A goal before added time, then maybe pinches the equaliser. Then it's a big ask for the German right now. You heard it from Aubameyang, his first proper year in the scene. However, whether he wins or loses this one, he'll learn from it. He's won the PlayStation side of things. He should be proud. He's made a major final here in Manchester. He's done exceptionally well for his organisation and for his home country of Germany.
So close, but so far for Icevogel though, Brandon. He's got all the way to the final, and it looks like he's just been pipped at the post. A photo finish for MS Desai.
And if you look on paper, you know, he did lose that ESL Championship against Siam. Is that something that creeps back into your mind? I've lost the final, I'm thinking about it again. On the other hand of it, MS Desai, he's had that taste of winning on the big stage. He knows the game management, those kind of just little details that he's implemented into this one right now. He's on his way at console, and he's just doing exceptionally well. Surely time's running out. 2 goals now, it's over. Come on, it's over.
Yeah, you got to look back at the tournament as well. What a tournament it has been, Brandon, for MS Desai. Every single person who he's matched up against, yeah, granted he's had a couple of losses along the way, but every single loss that he's had has made him stronger.
And in the Swiss style format, both of these players, the last 4 in the console finals, they were 5 wins, 2 losses. They've all tasted a defeat at some point. MS Desai, he lost against Janos, he lost against PSG Dax. However, he will be the champion here in Manchester. Added time of 2 minutes to come. The man from Saudi Arabia, he's back on top. He's back winning titles. And I'm sure he's got a lot of support behind him right now. Commiserations to Ice Vogel. Referee, are we done here? MS Desari. Maybe one more attack. Something special. Conclude it. Congratulations, MS Desari. 6-4 he wins here in Manchester. The champion. He's back on top, Richard Buckley.
What a performance from MS Desari. He's turned up when he needed to. He wanted to taste victory again at a major FIFA event, and that's exactly what he's done. ESWC last week, he finished third. He's gone 2 steps better this weekend in Manchester, and he will be lifting the Spring Cup. Congratulations.
Your champion Falcon, MS Desari, the Saudi Arabian, with a different play style. You know, just a different way of playing competitive FIFA at the highest level. And what a tournament this has been for him to go and win it in the end. A really impressive tournament overall. It's been an absolute pleasure to commentate over the 3 days, and we've seen upsets. I'm going to say again, upsets, goals, surprises. We've seen